Hello everyone, I am going to explain in this video the Python programming for the sum of series. So this is the part of the first program, the second part of the first program, sum of the series. So any sum of the series is a sum of the individual terms. So first of all, we should be able to find out the relationship between the two consecutive terms, or what is the common formula the series can be obtained. Here this is the series given for you to calculate. So now here the series given is 1 by 1 plus 2 power 2 by 2 plus 3 power 3 by 3 plus etc. n power n by n. Okay, so we have come with the formula as power of I power I divided by I, and it has to be summed up. Okay, so now initially what you have to do is, how the program flow goes is, first you have to find out the number of terms you want to find the sum. Here suppose for example I am going to find the sum of 5 terms, n should be given as 5. If I am going to calculate for 10, then n should be given as 10. So that is what the first line of this program says, n is equal to int input of enter a value of n. So this line will get the input of the value n from the user, and we know that always the input comes as a text or a string. It should be converted into a integer. That is why this integer function comes. Okay, so now that whatever the input function gets is a text or a string, that should be converted into a number if it is an numeric value. So the input string is converted into an integer number, and that is assigned to the variable n. And initially sum is equal to 0.0 because this is the term we expect the sum to be a floating point variable, so it is given as 0.0. Now the range goes from, for I is in 1, range of 1 comma n plus 1. So always this range statement will calculate up to n only. When the n plus 1 comes, it will come out of the loop. So we have to always, suppose if we want to find out the sum of 6 terms, then I have to give here 7, that is n plus 1. So likewise, that's why generally we give as n plus 1. Okay, so now when we know that any for loop or any if loop ends with the colon to indicate it is an for or an if loop, other statements doesn't end with any punctuation. That means there is no semicolon or any colon like other programming language. So now after this for loop we have indentation. Indentation means spacing. So this spacing only defines the block of the particular if or a for statement. Now here under this for loop these two statement comes. That means these two statements are in a block under the for statement. So they are in the same indentation. So a is equal to float of I power I divided by I. So that is the one term here. So this is 1 power 1 by 1. So the first term. When I is equal to 1, the first term will be calculated, and then S is equal to S plus A. That means 0.0 is the initial sum and the first term will be added, and then this loop continues till the whole number of ranges achieved. Okay, so now n plus 1. So now here the after this for loop repeats for as many times required, it will find out the final sum, which is the sum of the series, and we have to print in the next statement saying print the sum of the series is yes. So here we can see that this print statement doesn't come under the for loop because this for loop repeats for many times and the sum is accumulated in the s variable, and afterwards the print statement print out the sum of the series. So now this is the same version I am giving in the Python editing screen, and this is the notepad screen. We can run the Python program both from the notepad or from the Python screen itself. So this is how the program flow goes. So now let us see how the calculation part is achieved. Here we can see that initially sum is equal to sum plus power of I comma I power I. So first term. So we can say that initially I is equal to 1. So 1 into 1 by 1, which is 1, and now the power value is also 1. Then sum is also 1 because sum is equal to initially 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. And then when I becomes 2, you have to add 2 power 2 by 2, which is 2 power 2 by 2 is 4 by 2, which is 2, and now we have to sum of the previous sum also. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. And then when I becomes 3, the term becomes 3 power 3 by 3. So 3 power 3 by 3 is actually 9. So we have to add up the previous sum. So 9 plus 3 is 12. So we can likewise, when I becomes 4, it is 4 power 4 by 4. So the value is 64. So the 64 has to be added with this 12 to get this 76. And then for 5, it is 5 power 5 by 5. So this 625. This 625 should be added to the previous sum, which is 76. The answer is 701. So till then, actually from your textbook, the question given is the n is equal to 5 value. The answer is 701. Okay, so let us stop with this n is equal to 5 itself, and let us see again the how the flow goes. So here initially the sum is 0 and then the term is 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1, and then the term is 2, the sum is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 9 is 12, 12 plus 64 is 76, and 76 plus 625 is 701. Likewise, this sum of the series goes and goes. As per question given is n is equal to 5, the sum of the series starts with 1 and ends with this 5, so which is 701. So that is the answer for this series 701. So likewise, in order to sum up any series, first you should be able to find out the common formula how the sum can be achieved. Then you should be able to use the for loop or the while loop, whichever is applicable, to find out the sum of the series. So this is the way any series can be summed up using the common formula, using either the for loop or an while loop. Hope you understood the concept behind this sum of the series, and thanks for watching.